I must admit, I'm a bit overwhelmed. I'm a bit blurry-eyed. Not because of just the 2:45, 2:30 a.m. alarms that have been going off, but because I'm trying to come to terms with what I've seen on this last day in Brisbane. And my mind goes back to the first morning when we looked at the two sides and said, right, what have we got here? The bowling wins you matches. We've got Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood, Nathan Lyon, Mitch Starc. There's 1,000 wickets and more in that Australian side. Okay, let's see who's arrayed against them. 13. Then I checked again. Of those 13, 2 were Rohit Sharma. There were 11 wickets arrayed against 1,000. There's a heavyweight boxer taking the ring against a featherweight. Look at the number of caps. There were 2 to Siraj, 1 to Saini. I don't even want to count the one for Shardul Thakur because, he's bowled 11 balls. So no Shardul Thakur, no Natarajan, no Washington Sundar. India's new ball attack after Saini goes off, India's pace bowling attack for this game is Mohammad Siraj, Shardul Thakur, T. Natarajan. In your wildest dreams, you would not imagine that to be the case. And then what happens? Mohammad Siraj comes charging in 2 test matches old. Father just passed away recently. Doesn't know what his future holds. And boom, David Warner's gone. Then what happens? Just look at the audacity of the people who played this side and the shots that they played. It's the last over before lunch. Shubman Gill is batting beautifully. There's a third man out on the boundary. And Shubman Gill plays the uppercut over square point. Why does he play the uppercut? Because he thinks he can. He's not thinking, should I play this? Should I not play this? Will India save this game? He's just thinking, I can play this, so I play it. What does Rishabh Pant do? He plays the most audacious of shots because he can. Shardul Thakur throws his bat out at a cover drive. To me, that was a shot of the game, that cover drive that went crunching past the fielders over there. What does Washington Sundar do? 10 runs left, he plays a reverse sweep. India in sight of one of their greatest wins ever, he plays a reverse sweep. Not because he's irresponsible, not because, he just thinks he can. He plays a reverse sweep because he thinks he can. Rishabh Pant plays a scoop because he thinks he can. That is what struck me about this side. They played like they thought they could. I'm a firm believer over the years that adversity builds strength. This team could easily have looked at the setup and said, who's not there today? There's no Ashwin, there's no Bumrah, and of course there's no Kohli. These are the pillars of our side. There's no Shami, yes. So we've got a main bowling lineup, no Kohli. They could have got up and said, what do we do? Instead they said, yes, what can we do? And I think that is why I will look back at this test match and say, well done, Ajinkya Rahane. Ajinkya Rahane got the captaincy in a city that was a pile of rubble after that 36 not. It wasn't a bad side because I always believe good teams don't become bad overnight. But in the mind, they were looking at what the world was saying about a 36 all out. From there, they started to put the bricks together. Who put the first bricks? That's important to know. Who put the first bricks? A solid, understated, overachieving, solid, quiet man in Ajinkya Rahane. As the captain, he walked out himself and he produced one of the most beautiful hundreds, one of the best back-to-the-ball hundreds that you will see in Australia. That century in Melbourne was fantastic. Then what happened? You start seeing Hanuma Vihari, one leg, Ravichandran Ashwin, he's got blows all over. His back is gone. Who's sitting in? There's Ravindra Jadeja. He's got his gloves on because he doesn't have the strength, doesn't have energy to put the gloves on again. Rishabh Pant in his own style, Cheteshwar Pujara in his own style, 2 people playing their natural game. Then what happens? They come to Brisbane. This Brisbane test. I will never forget this test match. 19th of January, I was in Perth in 2008 and I thought I will not see such a stirring deeds again. That team was full of superstars. They came out of that horrible test match in Sydney and in a test match they were not supposed to win, put it across. It had Kumble, it had so many, it had all the giants. And what did this team have? Nothing at all. And that's why I'm overwhelmed by what happened in Brisbane. It told me 2 or 3 things. It told me that the depth in Indian cricket is far greater than we give credit for. And it told me that this IPL, this much maligned IPL, people are sitting and saying the IPL will be the doom, will be the ruin of test match cricket. This IPL is producing strong cricketers who feel at home in high pressure environments, and you can never deny that. So the India A team, the IPL team, or we are seeing a bunch of players coming through just believe in themselves. And I'm so happy for simple, hardworking people. It comes back to that. I mean, that's how I grew up in. So I have a natural affinity for these people. Shardul Thakur, Navdeep Saini, Mohammad Siraj, Washington Sundar, T. Natarajan. What a group of people. And around them, the two seniors, Ajinkya Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara. Cheteshwar Pujara is taking blows all over, but he's not flinching. What is the message that's going out at the other end to two young people? First Shubman Gill, then Rishabh Pant. The message that is going out is you're playing for India. When you're playing for India, it doesn't matter. You hang in there. That was the message that Ajinkya Rahane was sending out. And that is why I love this combination of people. To me, this will be one of the finest wins that I have seen. I'm overjoyed. It just feels great to be Indian. And I hope all of you realize how beautiful Test cricket can be.